Greetings fellow gamers and welcome once again to Rising World Medieval Build. I'm Small Archangel, thank you for joining me for this video today. And we are continuing work on our tannery, which is this building here, which is not finished yet by quite a long way. We have got the basic structure in position, including now the half timbering, which you can see I have done off camera. So we've got timbering all the way around the outside there. There's the odd bit which doesn't quite match up under here because I couldn't really see what I was doing because the stair structure was getting in the way a tad. And I also forgot to adjust the stair. There was one stair which is just a little bit too far apart, as you can see there, which means that it's a little bit difficult to get up the stairs, which I forgot to adjust as well. And I just remember now. And now you can see the roof vent quite nicely from here. I've put some sort of timbering down either side of the roof vent as well, which I thought looked quite good on the thatch there. The thatch is just, well, obviously it's loam blocks and it looks a little bit flat, but there's not very much we can do about that. The windows, I'm not quite sure. I think probably what we're going to just do there is put some vertical slats in. Or something. What I really want to do is put some sort of rough wooden shutters in there, but that might be a bit of a pain to do. Might be a little bit difficult. We want something to kind of allow air to pass through, but not to allow sort of, you know, large animals to pass through, or gale force winds or whatever. And then of course we need a couple of doors here. So that's sort of what we're going to be doing today. We need some beams on the inside here. I haven't got around to doing that, so we need the beams on the inside, which they're going to have to sort of chime in a bit with what we've got with the structure there as well, so I'm not quite sure how they're going to work out. We need doors, and I think I'm going to leave the floor as dirt in point of fact. And there's also a structure that we're going to put on the side here, so I'm going to need to get busy with my rake actually, because now where is my rake? And now I've got it here somewhere. There we go. There's my rake. Because actually, we need that. No, the other way around. We need it like that. We're going to need a bit more land here. We're going to need a little bit more space here. Because, yeah, we've got, yeah, basically a structure that's going to sort of be possibly from here to here, possibly a little wider actually, which is just going to be a wooden shelter, a little like the one we have on our carpentry workshop, but not for drying wood, this time more for drying hides. So that's what we're going to do. First off, I'm just going to make sure that I've got enough space for that, and it shouldn't take loads, so this is probably going to be sufficient space there. There we go. Yeah, because it's not going to protrude that far. And then, of course, we are going to need some more timbers. Now, I have got a bunch of them in my inventory, so we can sort of get on with that. Sort of, let's see, how many do I have? I have 64 and 14, so actually I have quite a few. So that's nice. So we've got plenty of those there. But I do want to go, and I really shouldn't run with a rake, should I? It's just dangerous. So I'll run with them all instead, because that's perfectly safe. So we'll go, hello blacksmith. No, he hasn't moved. No, I don't allow them to move. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Oh, and I meant to put some blacksmith tools there, and I forgot. Okay, so we want our work benches up here. And we need this one, construction. We need doors. And I think we probably want a couple of those. Oh, clearly I don't actually have any wood, so I've come to the wrong place. I should have gone, I've done a bit more gravel here. That kind of goes all the way around now. And I can't be bothered doing it anymore. It's real grind. Literally, you have to grind the gravel too. And so I keep my timber. Now, is it this I need? It's lumber I need. It's lumber that I need. So we'll grab that. And then we need to make 2 of those. There we go. And they are not in my inventory, so let's just switch that out. And it's obviously going to get dark, because it always gets dark when I start doing videos in this game. Okay, and then these are not going to be tall enough for the space here, but that's okay. And also, in order to get them both facing in the same direction, we're going to have a little bit of messing about to do. first I should place that one there, and then we'll have to turn this one around. Okay, there we go. There's our sort of barn doors there, and there's a gap at the top there, and I'll probably give that the same treatment as we give the windows, whatever that turns out to be. Obviously with these doors, unfortunately, they've got the slats on one side, which means that we can get them both to open in the same direction, but they don't match because one's got the slats which should be on the inside and the other has not. That trick of sort of turning one of the doors around a bit so that they both would open in the same direction and have the handles on the inside works all right as long as you've got doors that are textured on the same side, both sides, but this one unfortunately is not. So okay, so what I'm planning on doing next is the roof beams, and I won't bore you guys too much with that because it's usually a lengthy process. Come on, get up the ladder. Get up the ladder. There we go. Okay, it took me quite a while to do the external ones, but the essential, of course, is going to be, oops, no, oh, good lord, there, one going across this way, and that's diagonal. How have I managed that? Right, there we go, that's horizontal, and we're going to want it to be rather thicker than that. It's going to want to be fairly hefty actually, but it's probably only going to want to go, I just have G here, no, maybe I don't want G actually, I'm not sure. Maybe I do and maybe I don't. Let's see. Maybe it's better if it kind of clips in through the roof a little. But we want it to be long enough. At the moment I'm a bit worried it's going to stick out through the roof behind. So maybe I will put it on G and then we can at least sort of see where it's going. I don't want it sticking out through the wall. And it needs to go about there. Let's just make sure that's not protruding at this end because that's not what we want. There we go. Okay, that's fine. And then we're going to need a similar one on the other side. Can I even reach? I'm not sure. And I think our roof is just ever so slightly wonky as well. I don't think, oops, I don't think it's quite straight, which means that yeah, we haven't got we've got a little bit more roof on one side than we have on the other, but that's fairly authentic if you ask me. And then we probably want some vertical beams coming down, and we probably want another horizontal one underneath this one at probably about that height. And this one should go all the way across. And then, yeah, we probably want some vertical ones, and maybe we want one there, actually, but I probably need it to be a little shorter. Oh, out like that. And then another one here. And the same on the other side. Okay, there we go. So I've not placed a beam here, which I otherwise would have done, because it will actually preclude us from being able to get through. It would be, you know, sort of knock yourself out time. But I've put beams in the rest, as you can see, like that. And I might put some on the ends as well, although possibly not, because there's a doorway here. I'm not going to put a door there because obviously this is an odd shape there. I'm just going to leave it as it is, which is perfectly fine anyway. We're not likely to get any goats wandering it up here, so that should be absolutely fine. And then we've got, just go down here, we've got our timber structure. Now I might put some timbering in down here as well, you know, sort of, let's see, let's have our grid on again and see if I can just get that. I don't know. I want it to clip through the wall again, but it would be very difficult to get that to happen, or even impossible. We do have one up there, which is similarly placed, but I can't seem to get this one to play nice right now. It doesn't want to do it. It doesn't want to do it at all. So I'll leave that for the moment, but yeah, in a way I would quite like to have some timbers that sort of go up to the timbers we've got above as well, so the structure is on the inside too, but maybe we'll do that later. Right now I am dying of thirst and hunger simultaneously, obviously. Okay, so that's our basic needs taken care of. The survival in this game is pretty simple, but it does get in the way of a good build, I find. Okay, so what we want here, again, I'm going to put the grid on. Broadly speaking, we want a shelter, very like the one we had previously, in our carpenter's workshop. And it's going to have a gable end roof like this as well, but the gable end will probably only go up to this beam that goes across at the bottom of the roof there. So in other words, it's going to be quite a lot lower. And possibly here, these beams here are going to be wide enough, although maybe will be sort of, I don't know, a little bit more like, maybe we want to be a little bit further out, like here-ish. And as for distance, yeah, probably there-ish. So let's just work on that basis. We'll go to roughly the end of our space here and place that one there. And then we need to do the same on the other side. And it's a little difficult to do this when you don't have any flooring down. That is the downside of having no flooring. Is trying to plot out correctly where your pillars and poles should go, because I can't see a line there. I think that's right, but I'm not absolutely sure. So let's just see. Does that go in a straight line? Yes, it does. Fantastic. There we go. Okay, so those may or may not be tall enough. I'm not sure. We need, in order to find out, to turn that to the horizontal. Oops. And then it needs to be there, I believe. Is it at its longest? I think it is. There. Well, almost. We're going to need to make that just a smidgen longer. Oh, and the other one's not quite tall enough, which is very annoying. Okay, there we go. So we've got that. We've got that as a basic framework. Then we are going to want another one, only this one. Yeah, we'll get it back to full length again, and then we're going to want it on the horizontal again, just to join these two together. Only it's not going to be long enough, obviously. In fact, can I get it to join up at all? Only by shrinking it slightly. There we go. Well, at least we can make it join up like that. It's not exactly efficient, but it wouldn't have been long enough. We would have needed to anyway. Let's just do that to minimize clipping, because when they clip, they kind of have a slightly weird effect on the eye. But there we go. So that's our basic framework. I think we probably want a central pillar here as well. Let's just flip that again, and again make it. Now, it's not going to want to go absolutely in the middle, is it? I don't think. Oh, it should do, shouldn't it? It should go absolutely in the centre there. That's the central there, isn't it? I think. Now, is this full length? I think it is. Let's see if we can place it in the middle here. Is that in the middle? Yes, it is. And then, yeah, again, we're going to want... Well, actually, we are going to want it to be a little bit taller like that. But for that, we're probably going to want to put it above, aren't we? Ah, now that one does need... Okay, we will just leave this one clipping through, I think, because the beam doesn't quite meet up there in actual point of fact. But at the moment, I'm not quite sure, because we're going to have to use thatch on this as well. And for that, we're going to have to follow... we're going to have to follow the line of the gable there, so we're going to have to go on an exact sort of 45-degree angle again. Now, I do have my scaffolding, and I think, and I've got some thatch too, but I'm going to need to make some more. I've got these, so we need to place these because we're not going to be able to reach otherwise. Let's just like that, and we have a small one here. There we go. Okay, and then from here we can see what we're doing. We're basically, and this is where it's going to clip through slightly, but I don't suppose it matters over much, she says, hopefully. We're going to have thatch going basically like that. So it's actually going to be a bit taller than I intended, but that's okay. It doesn't matter at all. So that gives us our sort of roof line. Yes, we're going to need it there as well. And then the same on the opposite side. Oh, whatever. I'll just jump down. It's not going to hurt me. So we want these timbers to be, at this point, a little bit less thick. Got the sun dazzling me just there. And then that should be the correct line there. And in fact, I'll make it just a little bit less thick still. I don't know. We probably want to take out this one here, because at the moment it's kind of preventing me from being able to attach the gable end to the gable, which is kind of where we want it to be. Okay, that's going to need to be a little bit further up than that, I think, somehow. Okay, there we go. That's broadly speaking what I intended. I think I'll take that away now. But I think we might possibly need some support posts down the sides as well. But they're easily enough to placed. There we go. Maybe not. But what we certainly need is a couple of diagonals here. So we'll just make these timbers somewhat smaller and then tilt them. Probably on that angle. Let's see. Is that right? Possibly. Like that, for example. And then we need to do the same thing here, I think. And I think it just needs to be a smidgen longer, actually, doesn't it? There we go. And the same thing here. And also here. There we are. Okay. We might possibly want to put some diagonals in there as well, because I think we've got them on the gable end of the main structure. So this will kind of... There, that's it. This will kind of chime in with that nicely. Yeah, we do. Lovely, there we go. So that's our structure. And then one other thing that might possibly do as well, I'll just make that even thinner. And if I can, which I'm not entirely sure whether I can or not, I might put some on the roof here. We got that slightly wonky, I'm not sure. Just backspace it and start again. And make it as long as we can. And this is where I wish I had my scaffolding up still, but if I could place a couple of spars on the roof, like I have done on this roof here, so perhaps they want to be a little thicker actually. But it looks like night has caught up with us again, so we'll continue in the morning. Okay, here we go. So I have placed a couple of sort of little wooden spars. Oh, look at that. My roof spar at the top doesn't even meet up. That's because I did it in the dark, folks. That's not very helpful, but there you go. So I'm going to have to adjust that, I think. But other than that, yeah. So I think that tells us really, doesn't it, what our main priority here is going to be. We need a beam across the middle here, inside. Yeah, pretty much there. Because I'm probably a little bit wider than that. Yeah, like that. And from that we can hang a lantern. Is that like? Yep, that's full length, but that's probably not going to be quite long enough, is it? Nope. Story of my life. Here we go. Let's shorten that down to the appropriate kind of length there. Okay, that'll do, I think. Just make that sure that one actually does join up. There we are. And then we should be able to hang a lantern, I think probably about there. There we go. And they actually throw out quite a lot of light, those lanterns. So that should give us sufficient light there. And we'll soon find out if it does not. And then similarly, we're going to need some lighting in here. Now, I reckon probably one there. There we go. And perhaps one hanging from the underside of here as well. There we go. So we've kind of almost got a little workshop within a workshop going on there. So that should be quite good there. And that should give us plenty of light in here. You can already see that there's quite a lot of light from those. And then, yeah, I think we're more or less finished in here. As I say, apart from the vertical timbers, which they're just a little bit awkward to place, but I might just try that because it just looks a little bit bare in here. And it looks like we should be able to see some of the wood structure on the inside as well. These blocks are really quite thick. The wattle adorned walls wouldn't actually have been that thick, but we don't have that much choice really in the game. That's the size of a block. What can you do? Oh, look, we have a chicken. How very authentic. So now, I guess we're kind of more or less at the stage where we need to decide what we're going to do with our windows. Let's just have a look and see, because our normal kind of window frames, we could put window frames in, but I'm not sure that's going to be a great plan. Apart from anything else, they're not going to have the arch at the top then. So what I'm minded to do really is just sort of put in no, I don't need it to be that long, do I? Really, I don't. Let's just step back a little bit and see if I can get that to be the right kind of length. About like that. There we go. It needs to be the right length for the middle bit there as well. Yeah, that looks about right. Either that, or we have some of these, and we could likewise put slats in like this, only make them narrower. Okay, I have to step back a bit. I can't actually see if that's right. And that way they're going to look a little bit more like shutters maybe. We could put some slats in that look like that. Let's just see what that looks like. After all, we could take them out if we don't like it. Oh, there. What do we reckon? What do we reckon to that? I reckon maybe they need to be a tad wider than that, actually. Let's just experiment with this window here. I can make that a tad wider. We can do that. Oh, and I've run out. But if I take these out of here, and then use them here. And we'll see if we can get one in there also. Yeah, I quite like that actually. I think that's got the right kind of look about it. So I think we'll do our windows like that. And then we're on to some sort of interior decorating. But it looks in the meantime like I can do with getting myself some more water from our well and some more meat from our meat vendor on the marketplace. There we go. That's all of the windows dealt with now. So they won't let in a ton of light, I guess, but they'll let in some, and they won't let in, you know, birds and all the rest of it. As I said, I've still got some timbering to do in here, but I'll deal with that off camera, I think, because it's just a bit awkward to do. And now we need some sort of furnishing. Now, the obvious thing for our tannery is tanning racks, and I have already pre-prepared 4 of those, but we're also going to need some storage in there, and I think for that probably barrels is going to be the thing. No, I want that. Those in my inventory. There we go. We can put those back in there now. I think, I wonder if these grates are going to be, they might look quite good above the door, or maybe I should continue using some slats or something. I should maybe experiment with putting slats above the door so we've got more ventilation. Yeah, I think maybe a large storage crate is going to be in order as well, and maybe sort of we've got a medium one and a small one there. We can use those as well. We're probably not going to need a table per se, or a fire. We might possibly have use for a bench, and I think in addition to that we're probably going to want have I got some lumber? Yes, but not much. Let's just nip to the carpenters, because we're going to want some blocks made of wood. Okay, and we want wood blocks like that, and I'm going to need to make a few of these. Yeah, let's go with 24 for the moment. And then the other thing, somewhere around here, I know I've got one. Whoop-hoo. We might need that. We'll take those in case. Yes, we've got quite a full inventory by this. Oh, look, I've got 6 of them there. Good lord. Okay, I've got 30 of them. I should have checked first. We're not going to do... We're going to do something a little bit like this, but not quite. Let's see, what have we got here? Barrels. We need some more of those. Okay, so we've got all of that. Now, what we need to do is work out where our tanning racks are going to go. Now, what I'm planning on doing up there, mostly, is... Let me just get that out of my hands. There we go. What I'm planning on doing up here, mostly, is just sort of hanging hides from the beams here. I just think that's going to be sort of the best thing possibly to do up here. I might sort of stick a bench up here as well, kind of thing. I didn't mean to fall down there. But what we want are tanning racks. I think probably all over the place, to be quite honest. I don't think we even need to put G on for this. It just needs to be a sort of a... I don't know. They don't need to be particularly regimented, do they? Let's have some against this wall here. Oops, that's a bit wonky. I don't want it that wonky, or we'll have trouble fitting it in. We're not going to place 2 next to each other against this wall here. And the fact that they're a little bit wonky with each other is probably a very good thing in actual fact. And then I might put one there as well. Let's just do that. There we go. And then we perhaps want one final one over here like this. There we go. Okay. Then we're obviously going to want storage kind of all over the place as well, really. But before we do that, I'm going to show you what I'm planning on doing with these and these, which is that really what we want to do is we want to make some sort of, let's just see if we can get this to go horizontal. That's right, like that. We want to make some sort of, this is where I'm going to have to sort of build it halfway up the wall. But there's nothing I can much do about that. I'll just have to take some of the blocks out after the fact. Right, where's my hammer? The sledge. Here it is. So we'll take this end bit out. Thank goodness the physics allows things to hover. There we go. Okay. And then what I'm going to do with this, and I may rethink this, it may be a tad on the sort of the I don't know, the high side, I'm not sure, but we don't get much choice about that. We'll just put this on a bit of a diagonal. And then I want to use this as a leg. So it wants to be shorter, doesn't it? Kind of like that. In actual fact, is that going to the ground? It is going to the ground, but it probably wants to be about there. Is that... I want it that thick, that thick. I think it probably is fine at that thickness there. And then we just need to turn that around and place that in the same position but on the other side. And then we need to do the same at the back. So it kind of looks like a pommel horse or something, really. A piece of gym equipment, but it's not. If I got that straight, I think I have. There we go. But actually what it's for is hanging hides over to dry. And you would have found lots of these things in tanneries, so we will have several of them. Now that one does not want to go in the right position for some reason. Go in the right place. I think that's the right place, but I'm not absolutely positive. I can't really see what I'm doing from there. Anyway, it's meant to be rough and rustic. There we go. So we'll actually probably have a couple of those. I'll build a couple of them outside as well, and then we'll have some storage placed in addition. Okay, there we go. I may place more than one of those. I may place a couple more of those. I don't know. It depends on how we do for space. But in the meantime, we do want some storage around the joint and possibly benches. I do wish there was such a thing as a stool in this game. Of course, you could build one, but then you wouldn't be able to actually sit on it. So, not particularly great, but I might place the odd chair around. I don't know. Well, we shall see. Looks like we're going to need a smaller storage in there. We can put some storage upstairs as well, but what I might do is place a large storage crate here. That's going to preclude us getting through there, actually, so I'm not sure about that. Maybe we'll leave the large one for the time being, and maybe I'll put a smaller one there, and then we can, obviously we're going to need these storage crates for placing sort of hides in and leather, although the leather itself should probably go to our cobblers. Cobblers? Well, I suppose it's a cobblers as well as a tailors, perhaps, over the way, or maybe we should have a separate cobblers. Maybe that's going to be the thing to do. And then we'll have some barrels around the joint as well. No, barrels, thank you. Just turn this around. I think one there is probably going to be good. And do I have a small chest or two? I do, yes. So we'll perhaps have a small chest here. And then, yeah, maybe we'll put a bench up here. So I'll just turn this around, and maybe this is going to be a good place to put this bench, except it doesn't seem to want to go there. Let's just see if we do better with G on. There we go. There we are. And I might put a small storage chest here as well. Let's just see which direction is this facing. Let's have it so it opens in the appropriate direction if possible. Oopsie, there we go. We'll put that there. And if I had another barrel, I'd probably put that up here as well. But in fact, we're probably going to have to put this bench. That is not what I meant. Yeah, because of that. That is not what I meant. What I meant was to pick it up because of what I just demonstrated. Yeah, we need the bench on the other side. So let's place it on the other side by the wall. Like that. There we go. And yeah, as I say, I might possibly put a barrel up here for storage as well, but we've got a bit of storage for now. And what we want is to get some hides on these racks, obviously, and I've got a load of hides, or I've got some hides at least at the farm. Not many, but I've got some, and so I'll bring those here. Actually, I think we might have some in our tailor's shop, and we'll place them here. And of course, I will get as an NPC tanner in here as well, and as I said, I might put a chair somewhere around here as well, because I think it looks like, to me, like the tanner could do with somewhere to park themselves. Yeah, it's getting a little bit dingy outside now, and I think we do have adequate lighting around the place as well. And also what I will do, I'll get some timbering on the inside of here off camera, but I'm also going to work on getting some hides hanging around the place as well, with of course our favourite item, the poster. So I'm going to have to get some appropriate images for that and sort of see how I can go about dangling them around. It would be lovely if I could get some hides dangling over here as well, but I'm not sure. I can't really get them to curve, so I'm not quite sure how that's going to work, if at all. But I will try. I will see what can be done, but that's going to be a little bit of a challenge, I think. Yeah. I might end up replacing the round ones, which is authentic, with square ones, because that way we can actually, yeah, we can sort of bend an image around a little bit more easily, so we shall see how that goes. Okay, guys, so we shall leave this episode for now. I've got some slats to put above the door as well, so I've got a bit of off-camera stuff to do, as per usual. We shall leave this for now. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you have, as usual, let me know by hitting that like button and leaving me your comments. Keep your suggestions coming in. And I hope you'll join me for the next episode. In the meantime, don't forget, if you want NPCs or shops, places, buildings named after yourself, or you want to name them for me, go ahead and let me know in the comments too. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Till then, keep gaming, keep surviving, and stay happy. Bye bye for now.